Do your knees feel stiff the moment you get out of bed? Like they've aged faster than the rest of you? You might think it's just getting older. But what if I told you that certain everyday foods could be pouring fuel on that fire? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, I'll show you the one food that's been proven to reduce knee stiffness in just 3 weeks. Let me tell you about Norman. He's 65, a retired plumber who used to think his knees were just worn out. It's just aging, he'd sigh every time he struggled to stand up from his favorite couch. He stopped playing golf with his buddies. He avoided stairs whenever possible. He even dreaded getting down on the floor to play with his grandson. Norman had accepted that this was just his new reality. Sound familiar? But here's the twist that changed everything. It wasn't just aging. It was breakfast. It was lunch. It was his afternoon snacks. Tiny daily decisions that were inflaming his joints without him even knowing it. You see, Norman's knees weren't just wearing out from years of hard work, they were under attack from the inside. Every meal was either feeding the inflammation or fighting it, and for too long he was feeding the wrong side of that battle. Today, we're going to reveal those silent enemies hiding in your kitchen. More importantly, I'll show you the exact foods that can rescue your knees from the inside out, just like they did for Norman. Let's start with villain number 4. That slice of bacon on your breakfast plate? It may be breaking down more than just your diet plan. Norman loved his weekend barbecues. Sausages, hot dogs, deli sandwiches for lunch. He thought he was just enjoying good food with family. But here's what was really happening inside his joints. Processed and red meats are packed with something called nitrates and advanced glycation end products. Think of these like tiny pieces of rust forming inside your cartilage. Every bite was literally grilling stiffness into his joints. Research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition shows that people who eat the most processed meat have significantly higher levels of inflammation markers in their blood. Here's your simple swap. Replace that deli turkey with a salmon salad. Trade the hot dog for a lentil wrap. Your taste buds will adapt, but your knees will thank you immediately. If you've ever felt a cure after certain meals, drop guilty in the comments below. Now let me introduce you to hero number 4. This crunchy little snack could become your joint's best friend. Remember Norman's 4 o'clock energy crash? Instead of reaching for chips or crackers, he started keeping a small jar of mixed nuts by his favorite chair, almonds during his afternoon TV time, a handful of walnuts with his morning coffee. Here's the science that matters. Walnuts are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids that act like natural fire extinguishers for inflammation. Almonds provide vitamin E, which acts like a protective shield around your joints. According to a study in the Journal of Nutrition, people who eat nuts regularly have lower levels of inflammatory markers. It's not magic. It's just good nutrition working the way it's supposed to. Your simple action step. Keep a small container of unsalted mixed nuts within arm's reach of where you spend most of your time. When you feel that afternoon hunger, reach for those instead. If this tip makes sense to you, hit that save button. You might need this reminder tomorrow. Villain number 3 might shock you. It's sitting in your bread box right now, disguised as something harmless. Your white bread is acting like sugar in disguise. Norman thought he was making a healthy choice when he switched to whole grain bread. But he didn't realize his morning cereal was still made with refined flour, sending his blood sugar on a roller coaster every single day. Here's what happens. Refined grains hit your bloodstream like a sugar bomb. Your body responds with inflammation, and that inflammation heads straight for your joints. One bagel can have the same blood sugar impact as drinking a soda. The Arthritis Foundation confirms that refined carbohydrates trigger inflammatory responses that can worsen joint pain and stiffness. Your kitchen makeover. Choose 100% whole grain or sprouted bread. Check those labels carefully. If it doesn't say whole grain as the first ingredient, put it back. Have you ever actually checked your bread labels? You might be surprised by what you find. Let me know in the comments. But here's some sweet news. Hero number 3 is actually a dessert that helps your knees. Norman started adding a handful of blueberries to his morning oatmeal. Within a week, he noticed something interesting. His usual knee ache during his morning walk was getting lighter. He wasn't imagining it. Berries are packed with compounds called anthocyanins. These natural chemicals fight inflammation like over-the-counter pain relievers, but without any side effects. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that people who ate berries regularly had significantly lower levels of inflammatory markers. Here's the beautiful part. Berries give you natural sweetness without the pain-triggering blood sugar spike that comes from processed sugar. Your delicious homework? Add 1 cup of frozen berries to your breakfast or just snack on them frozen like nature's candy. They're just as nutritious frozen as fresh, and they last longer in your freezer. Try this tomorrow and tell me how you feel by day 3. I'm genuinely curious. Now we're getting to the serious villains. Villain number 2 might be the most dangerous because it seems so harmless. That sweet tea you sip every afternoon, that fruit punch at family gatherings, it might be crystallizing your joints from the inside. Norman had a habit of drinking sweet tea every afternoon while reading his newspaper. Just 1 glass, he thought. How bad could it be? Here's the scary truth. Sugary drinks fuel the formation of those advanced glycation end products I mentioned earlier. Think of sugar binding to your cartilage like glue, making your joints stiff and brittle. The American Heart Association research shows that people who drink sugary beverages regularly have higher rates of joint inflammation. Your refreshing solution? Infuse your water with sliced lemon, fresh berries, or mint leaves. You'll get flavor without the joint damage. If you've already cut back on soda, you're ahead of the game. Share what you swapped it with in the comments. Remember those leafy greens you probably ignored as a kid? They're about to become your knee's personal repair crew. Norman was skeptical when I suggested adding spinach to his morning smoothie. I won't even taste it, I promised him, and he didn't. But his joints sure felt the difference. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard are loaded with vitamin K, calcium, and magnesium. Vitamin K helps build strong cartilage. Magnesium helps your muscles relax, taking pressure off your joints. According to research in the American Journal of Epidemiology, people who eat the most leafy greens have significantly lower rates of joint problems. Your invisible upgrade: add a handful of spinach to your scrambled eggs, your soup, or that morning smoothie. You won't taste it, but your body will use every nutrient. If you try this tomorrow, I promise your joints will thank you. Come back and tell me how it goes. Now for the number 1 villain. This one's hiding everywhere, and it caught Norman completely off guard. It's in your mayonnaise. It's in your crackers. It's even in your healthy salad dressing. We're talking about vegetable and seed oils high in omega-6 fatty acids. Norman thought he was making a healthy choice with his daily granola bar. He didn't realize it was loaded with soybean oil. Every bite was throwing his omega balance completely out of whack. Here's the problem. Omega-6 oils fuel inflammation when they're not balanced with omega-3s. And in the typical American diet, we get about 16 times more omega-6 than omega-3. That's like having 16 fire starters for every fire extinguisher. Your label reading mission: check those ingredient lists. Choose olive oil or avocado oil when you cook. Your joints will feel the difference within weeks. Don't worry if this caught you off guard. You're learning, and that knowledge is powerful. Finally, let me introduce you to the champion, the food that turned Norman's mornings around in just 3 weeks. We're talking about fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel. Norman started eating salmon twice a week. Within 3 weeks, he was walking to his mailbox without that familiar morning stiffness. This isn't just masking pain. It's turning off the inflammation switch at the cellular level. Fatty fish provides EPA and DHA omega-3 fatty acids that directly target inflammatory pathways. A clinical study in the Journal of Rheumatology showed that people taking fish oil experienced reduced joint stiffness in just 3 weeks. Your power move: aim for fatty fish twice a week, or consider a high-quality fish oil supplement if fish isn't your favorite. If you only try one thing from this entire video, let it be this one. The research is that strong. Let me pull this all together with what I call the rule of one. Instead of trying to change everything at once, pick just one swap, one villain to remove, one hero to add. That's it. Maybe you start by swapping that afternoon soda for infused water, or you add berries to your morning routine. Perhaps you replace processed lunch meat with canned salmon for your sandwiches. Norman started with just one change. He replaced his sweet tea with lemon water. That single swap began to break the inflammation cycle that had been building for years. Here's what the research tells us. Chronic inflammation doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't disappear overnight either. But your body starts responding to better choices immediately. Within days, you'll notice subtle changes. Within weeks, those changes become unmistakable. The truth is, your knees aren't just wearing out from age. They're responding to every choice you make, 3 times a day, every single day. You have more control than you think. Norman's story didn't end with just managing his knee pain. It ended with him getting back on the golf course, playing on the floor with his grandson again, taking the stairs without a second thought. That's what happens when you stop feeding inflammation and start feeding healing. Your body isn't giving up on you. It's just asking for the right tools. And now you have them. Remember, you're not broken. You've just been missing the right information. But that changes today. If you're still watching, you clearly care about taking control of your health. That tells me something important about you. But here's the thing. Knee health is just one piece of a bigger puzzle. And there's something else hiding in your kitchen that could be putting you at serious risk. I need you to watch my next video. These 7 fruits raise stroke risk overnight. Seniors stop eating them uncontrolled. This isn't about scaring you. It's about protecting you. You see, some fruits that seem perfectly healthy can actually spike your blood sugar higher than candy. And for people over 60, this creates a silent storm in your blood vessels that most doctors never warn you about. Norman learned this the hard way when his doctor found some concerning changes in his blood work. But once he knew which fruits were the problem and which ones were protective, everything changed. This video will show you exactly which 7 fruits to limit, and more importantly, which delicious alternatives actually protect your heart and brain. Click that video right now. Your future self will thank you. Before you go, do me a favor. Leave a comment and let me know which food swap you're going to try first. I read every single comment, and your story might help someone else take that first step. And if this video helped you understand something new about your body, hit that subscribe button. Tomorrow morning, I want you to wake up with more knowledge than you had today. Save this video too. You'll want to come back to these swaps when you're grocery shopping. Your journey to stronger, pain-free knees starts with your very next meal. Make it count.